I am here to take Dr. TPS interview, and I am here with our very special guest named Dr. TPS from India, Kerala. So, first, I would like to say that Dr. TPS, please introduce yourself.
Namaskaram, Assalamu alaikum, Fahad. Thank you and glad that you acted very fast and we are able to join here. I am a retired space scientist. I think every day I am with some or other person, and you are doing a great job of meeting people and then understanding what others are doing and then learning. So basically, I'm very much interested in supporting such people who wanted to learn. So I'm more an educator, I'm a mentor who is doing a lot of social service with my knowledge around the world. So thank you for having me on this platform.
Yes, sir, this is my pleasure to have an interview session with you.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question to you is, can you share what inspired you to pursue a career in education and motivational speaking?
See, I was basically a space scientist, I told you, but being a space scientist under government of India and then working in government of India at different levels, when I look back to my old days when I was a student, like I understand Fahad is in 7th or 8th grade,
Sir, I am in ninth grade.
ninth grade. So during that time, I understand I was not a good student at all. I was not a good student. I was one of the worst students in my schools. So I decided there are a lot of students who may be really good. They must not have got an opportunity and chance to come up in their life. So I decided I will spend the rest of my life investing for those children who wanted to develop themselves. So soon after my retirement, I went and started a small program in a place where I am hailing from, Kerala, which is the southwest corner of India. I started a project where how a student in the normal level can become international level, improving their language skill, communication skill, learning skill, and I could become successful. Then I found I am good in that, so I started doing it for last 14 years. I am doing this learning and teaching job. You're happy?
Okay, sir. Yes, I am happy.
Yeah.
So, what do you consider your most significant contribution to the field of education in India?
See, most of the educators, like not in India, all across the globe, when you look at it, I must have given interview to a lot of people from Pakistan now, and today I have got somebody asking on my YouTube also why you have a lot of people from Pakistan in interview. Understand what I believe is people should have communication skill. Punctuality is most important. Today morning I was waiting for one of your colleague who is from the same institute who is doing this program. I waited half an hour. The communication was so bad. He didn't turn up. I wasted my time. So this happens in the students. They are not very serious sometimes. Not all of you are like Fahad or Hamna, whom I met yesterday. No, once in a while we meet good students. I wanted to specifically tell this in this forum because I want to send this as a message and tell them value somebody's time. Understand communication has to be perfect. Your grammar has to be good. The way in which you communicate has to be good. Then your technical skill is good. That means your knowledge in computer science, mathematics, physics, chemistry, social science, whatever subject you are good, these two things together only make you a great personality. The other day I was giving an interview to some of your colleagues in from Pakistan. I mentioned that one student from Kerala did not had a general knowledge. So when I asked about that country, which state, which place your father is working. She felt really bad. So today communicated to me saying that my general knowledge is bad, right? So I believe maybe giving some small dose of small message like this to people who wanted to really become great. They wanted to understand science, they wanted to understand general knowledge, they understood to understand the world around them. I believe education is knowing me, knowing around me, the whole world around me. Today we are in a digital world. We can learn the whole world if you are very good in digital world, right? So I keep making that as part of education now. That's what I'm doing.
Yes, sir. Some of students are like who not who would not uh, uh, punctuate on their time and don't follow some instructions given by but our mentor Sir Rahmat and Sir Daulat etc. They always said that if you give to someone your time, so be punctuate on your time, and whatever you give time to anyone for interview. So before starting your interview, if I give you your time 5 p.m., so I need to come before 5 p.m., like 4 4:45 p.m. So
You are
this
good.
was
You are good, Fahad. You are good. You remember first you gave a time tomorrow, but I said make it fast, immediate, as early as possible, because tomorrow there may be some
yes,
other job coming, right? Priority, which I cannot, probably cannot say no. So I wanted to use immediate, always presence of mind, fast, anything which you can do fast. If you can do today, don't make it tomorrow, make it today. That is what I believe. Good boy, love you.
thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So now my second question or my next question is to you that how do you balance your roles as an educator, motivational speaker, and author?
See, it is not that I am a motivational speaker and educator, and I have got different roles. Each one of us have got different roles, right? I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a social being. I have my neighbors, I have my friends. So every one of us have got three things to balance. One is role. You are a student, I am an author, I keep writing books. Just now I am writing a book on education transformation requirement in Sri Lanka, because next week I am going there. So I am writing a book on them. So when I write a book, in between I am coming for an interview, and then my next chapter I have to write now. And in between I will go to Bengal for a program. The planning happens. Oh, so it's a different role. Every moment we have, and assume that I get a telephone call from somebody. Do you think I will not make that call? I make that call also, right? So we do multiple jobs. Multiple jobs doing parallelly is balancing role, balancing goal, balancing your values. So earlier I said the punctuality. That is one of my value. For some people doesn't have that value. So life is balancing three things. What are the three things? Role, goal, values. I have a goal. I have to balance my roles. I have a goal. I have to balance my values. So this is always role, goal, values. So I do many jobs parallelly. I'm sure everyone who is very active will have different roles. It's quite possible for anyone to do that. We have to be systematic, we have to be punctual, we have to be disciplined, and I'm sure you can become successful and do many things parallelly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Inshallah, I will also follow your three things that
Good
you
boy.
mentioned. So, my next question is what are the core values that guide your approach to education and personal development?
See, I believe I'm from India, and my knowledge is the traditional Indian knowledge. It is 2 days back the whole world celebrated the yoga day, but yoga day started only few years back. I am from a traditional yoga master, Himalayan tradition yoga master, who doesn't believe in this show what is being done all throughout the world. What is yoga? It is not doing the exercise, doing body postures. It is not that. The yoga has different steps, and different steps, 8 steps are there, in which the first one is yama, non-violence. Second one is niyama, discipline, time discipline. All that which I follow is from this basic principle. So yama, self-discipline, non-violence. Niyama is discipline. It is self-discipline, not somebody imposes discipline on you. Okay. Then asana, physical exercise. You have to be physically fit. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. Your breathing has to be good. So when your physique is good, your internal strength is good, I'm sure you can do many things. Okay. So there are different steps, 8 steps, in which I must know how much I should listen somebody, I should not listen somebody, how much I should see, how much I should not see, how much care I have to give to something, how much care I should not give. That is controlling your intellect and the feelings. So after pranayama, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, balancing all these indriyas. Indriya is all the sensory organs. I should not become too much tempted for eating. What should I eat? What should not I eat? I must have control on this, right? So that my body becomes strong. Emotional, intellectual, physical, social, and spiritual. And these fivefold development is exactly what is done by 8 steps: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, concentration. I must have concentration. When I am talking to Fahad, my mind should be totally here. Otherwise, when you ask a question, I will miss that question. Many people miss questions. They don't understand because they are sitting here but thinking something else. No, you have to be totally here. Focus. Focus is most important. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. You want knowledge? Jnanam is knowledge. You want knowledge? You should have shraddha. Shraddha is concentration, attention, presence of mind. All these are required. So all these when you have, I am sure you will be able to get dhyanam. That means your full focus will be on that. Then reach a level which is called a, what generally people call it as meditation, which is called a samadhi. Samadhi is the blessed type of life where you can do many things very comfortably without having any tension. So this is what I practice. This is what I tell my students also.
Yes, this is very important for us and very helpful. So, could you tell us about a particularly impactful project or initiative you've led?
See, there are many times I told you as soon as I retired, I did something on education on 8th grade children to become internationally equivalent or very good in communication skill, learning skill, and all that. Now my focus is on how technology can be used. Like now you are a AI wala. Now you have AI, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, AR, Internet of Things, IoT. You have got fourth industrial revolution which is happening around the world. We have 5G data connection. We have big data. We must have design thinking. All these are the areas in which I am working. So what do? I make books on this. And I believe generally we say we are on 21st century education, but we say next generation. These are all this generation. Do you know, Fahad, how many years is one generation? How many years we call it as one generation? Your generation, your parents' generation. So how much is the difference
Uh,
between one generation to another generation?
century?
No, century is 100 years. Generation is your father is one generation, you are another generation. So how much is the difference?
Uh, I don't know about
Generation is 20 years. Okay, so
20 years.
in my generation, by the time Fahad took birth to today, you can see a lot of change in education. Next 10 years, education is going to be again changed. So I don't talk about generations, not the next generation knowledge. No, I keep saying at least knowledge should be talked about 10 years. 10 years is one decade. 10 years is one decade.
Yes.
Century is 100 years, one decade is 10 years. So I keep saying we should talk about third decade of 21st century. Third decade of, that means third decade of 21st century. So I keep telling we are in a world of 3, 2, 1. So we must become very fast in thinking. We are in the world of 3, 2, 1. This is what I keep talking to children. This is what I'm thinking. How do you make to think fast, act fast, do things fast, learn fast? This has to come the next generation, not next generation. This generation itself, it should happen. Many people keep saying students are the citizens of tomorrow. No, I don't agree. Students are the citizens of today. Even Fahad is a great citizen today. Not many people who have got a great age are doing much better things than Fahad. Fahad is much better than elderly people. So the world is not next generation, next tomorrow you will become a citizen. This world is for the people, by the people, to the people, people like Fahad. This is what I wanted to tell. You are a great citizen of your country and you have to become a great citizen of the world. That is what we want.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So, how do you integrate spirituality into your educational and motivational programs?
See, most of us don't know reasons for many of the things. When you see somebody, oh, you like him. Somebody, when you see, you don't like him. Is it because he looks good? No. Is it because he has got great knowledge? No. Is it because he's a very famous person? No. Is it because he loved you earlier? No. There is something beyond this. And that what is beyond is what is spiritual, which connects people from different. When we have got a small flower, we look at it, oh, it's beautiful. This color is beautiful. Why do you say this is beautiful? When you say something else is not beautiful? No, we know that, no, I love this, you love this. This is beautiful for me, this is beautiful for you. So there are a lot of differences between people, but still I can love you only when we are spiritually equal. Otherwise, what happens is I think that my religion is good, all other religions are bad. There are religious practices which says all other religion is useless, all the people are bad, but only my people are good. If somebody says only gents are good, ladies are bad, do you believe that your mother is bad, only father is good? Your sister is bad and no, it should not be. So every animal is also good. Every fly is very good. Every small beings in this world are good. Everything has got its own purpose. Amandram aksharam nasti. There are a lot of letters in the world. All letters are good. When we put them together, it becomes a good word or a bad word. Some letters you put together, it becomes a good word. Some letters you put together, it becomes a bad word. So how do we put them is our ability. So when we become spiritually higher, we understand nothing is bad. So when I am telling that somebody was not punctual, he wasted my time, it is not the intention to find fault with him. It is to tell him that you have to correct yourself, you have to change, you have to become good. So I have a lot of patience. How the patient comes to you? Otherwise, I can just ignore, ban him, block him. I don't do that. I understand there is a hope for change. Because in my childhood I was not like this, now I became like this. What is the change which happened to me? The spirituality. Somebody has looked upon me saying that, yeah, you have a different frequency, make that perfect, so that you will become harmonized with everybody. So a spiritual person is one who finds harmony with everyone. You are not a spiritual person, you don't find harmony with all the people. That is what I believe.
Okay, sir. So, what challenges do you believe the current educational system in India faces, and how do you propose addressing them?
See, what happens is now India has got a new education policy. I am not supposed to criticize India and talk to somebody in Pakistan where India went wrong, but I will tell you. India is a big country, but you know what happens? They look at a small country called Finland and then keep saying Finland is doing great, let us copy it. But understand, Finland is a small country. You should go to geography map, Google Map, and type Finland. You will see that's a small country in some small other portion of the northern hemisphere, very close to the the equatorial area. And what happens there? The day length is very large. They have got not 12 hours day and 12 hours night. You can imagine if somebody copies from somewhere, the climate is different, the politics is different, the religion is different, the culture is different. You copy, what will happen? You are doing a big mistake. So some political decisions of learning something from some other country and copying that is not a great thing for any country. If your country is great, I must tell what we had in tradition is great. So what do? I am not to find fault. What I am doing is i am I have got a system called grandma child care shiksha gurukulam. That is my education policy in India. My grandmother's education was great, and I wanted to implement that in this place. Not even in this place. You imagine, Fahad, when you were young children, when you were sitting in LKG, UKG, you were sitting and the teacher was standing, right? When the teacher is standing, which part of the body of the teacher you will see continuously? I'm sure that is not the way an LKG class have to be. All the grandmother used to sit and children used to stand. So I believe young small classes, teachers should not stand, they should sit, and students should stand around them. And it should not be third grade one class, fourth grade another class, fifth grade another class. All the students should mix and then learn. It's like when you are going to your grandfather's grandmother's house, how do you communicate, how do you play, how do you learn? And there should not be any textbook writing and all that. There has to be a lot of playing, and the playing can be different. Earlier we were playing with some other gadget. Today you can play with AI, AR, IoT, 3G, 4G. Everything can be your gadgets, right? So we have to need a drastic change in education, which very seriously people should think. I keep saying, earlier on the board people used to write, teachers used to write, and everybody had got a slate, which we have got a white chalk and a small. Uh, it is almost like a board, small board. Any slate is a small board, black board we had, and we had a small board. Suppose you are using a smart board today, all of you should have also a mobile phone with you. So every child should have a smartphone with them today in the classroom. So I need a drastic change in education. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm doing also. That's what I'm believing. That's what I'm propagating. So I keep traveling across India. I keep going to different. This weekend I am there in Calcutta, in the east of India, and then the next month I will be the east of India. In between I will go to Sri Lanka. So I keep traveling like this.
Yes, you are, sir. Dr. TPS, you are actually the mentor of our life, and your all points are very helpful. And if we implement these all points in our life,
Thank you.
so we see big change in our life.
Thank you.
So, what advice would you give to students who are struggling to find motivation in their studies?
I think it is not motivation. What is most important is aspire high, inspire yourself. It is not somebody gives you a gift, you do it because some popularity, you do it. You should have internally thinking that I must reach higher, higher, higher in my life. And then success is not doing something today. Every day being successful is what is success. So it is not one success, it should come behind somebody else. What is the difference between an animal and a human being? Animal cannot ask questions, it cannot learn, it cannot communicate like this, it cannot read books, it cannot document knowledge and then put it to somebody else. So as a human being, the ability to learn is the most essential thing what everybody should use it. If there is a problem in learning, find out the trick of learning. And tricks of learning can be easily found out because there are people who already learned, they know the trick of learning. So what is lacking? Good teachers. I believe if somebody doesn't understand mathematics, come to me, I will make it very easier. Somebody doesn't like social science or history or civics, I can make it very interesting. So I love teaching, and I believe that I can make children to learn learning. You must find today not who is around your world, not in your school, not in your classroom. You have to go around the world and then get as much as you want. So how do you learn? Ask question why mathematics is difficult. Somebody, because you don't ask question why am I learning it, why this formula is being taught. Ask question why, ask how, ask where, when, what, www, keep on asking this. You will become a good student. That's my advice to all the people. When I am interviewing, why am I interviewing? Who is interviewing? You can see all these questions are W and H. So if you are good in W and if you are good in H, learning becomes easier. Okay. Understand the objective and scope of our life, objective and scope of learning. Objective and scope. Why am I learning? What am I learning? How am I learning? Why should I learn this? How should I learn this? From whom should I learn? Ask these questions. You will become a good student. That's what I want to tell. Fahad, I'm sure you are like this because that is what the training is given by Farhan Institute for you. And you are one of the most luckiest people in the world. I must salute your mentor for this. Right? Great.
Thank you so
Great
much.
job.
Thank you so much, sir. So, how do you stay updated with the latest trends and developments in education?
I'm with a lot of gadgets. You can see two gadgets here, another gadget there on the laptop. I'm well connected to the whole world. I'm teaching in Philippines. I have got students in America. I have got students in Germany. London, I kept going for. I have got 200 teachers in Germany where I went for a meet last time. October, I was there in London when I wanted to meet my students who are teachers there. So what happens is travel is one. Second one is get connected with the world through internet. Use social media, cinema, documentary, all that I spend a lot of time reading, understanding, learning. Every interview from you is also a learning because I am learning. Oh, this is one method for making knowledge much higher and better. When you are asking question, I am thinking, and that thinking makes me to think. Now from this discussion, I wanted to learn some more things extra, which probably I will add in my book. So every discussion is a learning. So I believe learning happens when discussion happens, and that's what you are doing. That's what I am doing.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Good.
So, what are your favorite three colors?
Yeah, I think same question everywhere, right? All the time. I like RGB, red, blue, green, because that's the basic color. Yesterday I told some other color, right? That is because what I see today, I'm seeing some other color today. My basic question is how do I make these colors? Suppose if I have three colors, RGB, that's called basic colors. I can make any other color. Mix of RGB is the whole colors in the world. Yeah.
So, can you share a success story of a student or individual who was significantly impacted by your teachings?
There are a lot of my children who reached the top of the world, the best institute in the world. Recently, I wrote a book which is called The Gita Way. Gita, Bhagavad Gita is almost like Quran for you. So that book, how do I make the young generation to understand the basic knowledge given in the Bhagavad Gita, because it is given in Sanskrit. People don't understand when they read. There are a lot of people written commentaries on that, hundreds and hundreds of commentaries. One book which is printed maximum in the world is Bhagavad Gita. Everyone will have. Every religious people also will carry this. But what not from Hindu religion or other religious people also will study this. Why I wrote a book? That is because my student Anusha has made this possible by asking me a question: how do you explain this to the younger generation? So I wrote a book which is called The Gita Way, which is for the 23rd decade of 21st century, 3 to 1 world. How a wisdom man with the Bhagavad Gita knowledge will talk to somebody who doesn't have it today in that way. So that is done by some student Anusha, who is now in America doing very well in her profession, got multiple promotions very fast, got multiple awards from the MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, one of the world's best university. Right. They're all my contributions, or maybe they contributed in my learning and growing. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, Dr. TPS, what is the final advice for our viewers who are watching us?
Have good presence of mind. Keep your life beyond where you are around. Don't think about a small world around you. Not think about my family, my children, my school, my students. No. The whole world is ours. Vasudeva Kudumbakam. That is what our religion talks us and then teaches us, saying that everyone in this world is good. Every religion is good. Every part of the world is good. Every person is good. Small, young, old, everybody is good. That's what I told. Amandram Aksharam Nasti, Nasti Moolam Aushadam, Ayogya Purusho Nasti Yojakaha Tatra Durlabaha. Everyone is good. We need attender, we need a driver, we need also boss, we need prime minister, we need president, but everybody cannot become that. They also need people to work under them. Correct. So whatever job you get, whatever, you cannot have a cinema with only heroes and heroine. You also need some other characters around, right? You need a villain, then only hero has got a value. So everybody has got a different role to play. Play your role very good, so that you will become satisfied by yourself. Keep dignity of learning. That is what I wanted to tell everyone.
Thank you so much,
Good
Dr.
enough, Fahad?
TPS, for
Happy
giving
with your way of asking questions and all that. So send your picture and your name, totally how it has to come to a certificate. So I'm going to give you a certificate that you are a good interviewer,
Thank you so
good
much, sir.
learner. I will do that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, uh, giving me your golden time
So
for this
inshallah we will
conversation.
meet somewhere sometime.
Yes, yes, sure, inshallah. So, so viewers, we will meet on the next conversation interview.